It is 12 noon. Welcome back. We're live at Twin Peaks in Hoover. About 2 hours and 15 minutes away from tip-off between Alabama and Hofstra. Come on out and enjoy the festivities here at Twin Peaks in Hoover. Got a lot of great deals going on this Friday. The section of the restaurant where we're located, it is jam-packed. Hopefully you can get an opportunity to come by, have lunch, watch some basketball. Right now, Kentucky and Santa Clara, they're tied 29-29, nearing the end of the first half. Watching this game from afar, Landrum, it appears that Santa Clara, their game plan is trying to make Kentucky shoot outside and mid-range jump shots. And so far, it's worked pretty well. Kentucky is 4 of 14 from the three-point arc. They're only shooting 42% for the game so far. Santa Clara, not much better from the outside, hence the reason why they're tied 29-29.
Yeah, and a reason why that there was so many people that thought that this was a potential upset, a lot like we saw yesterday, and it wasn't an upset. It was actually Texas A&M versus St. Mary's, but it's what we get in the SEC with the style of basketball that they play on the West Coast. You don't really know until you get the two ingredients together, but Santa Clara, they look the part right now. And I'll tell you, I know Akron's behind Texas Tech, and this is an Akron team that's probably been one of the more talked about 12 seeds or lower seeds that we've had, but Akron, that's a team just eye test. The way that they're super athletic, but long and lean. I think that's going to be a game that comes down probably to the final minute as well.
See, I was watching for Akron, some of their perimeter guys that they have out there defending the guards for Texas Tech. Like, they have a size advantage.
Yeah, they do.
It looks like they've got, I think it was number 0. That guy looks like a menace out there guarding the perimeter. But you brought up three-point shooting, not good for Kentucky. They just missed another one. How about this, though? Kentucky only been to the free throw line three times this game, and there's 20 seconds left in the first half. They're 1 of 3. Santa Clara 5 of 6 from the free throw line.
Yeah, Santa Clara, both teams have gone cold. I'm sitting here looking. Kentucky hasn't scored in the last 2.5 minutes, and Santa Clara has won for their last 7 from the field. And so now Kentucky just absolutely just –
they just threw up all themselves.
The Santa Clara player literally grabbed the ball out of the Kentucky player's hand.
Dribble drive, you've got a guy spot up from the corner, from the wing for a 3, and a guy just ties you up.
Hey,
what an awful, pathetic way to end a half of basketball.
What Coach tell us earlier? Guard the dribbler.
But my buddy Steven up in Lexington listens to our show. He's beside himself right now.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating because you saw Tar Heel Nation, how they've been reacting to their loss last night.
Oh, it's going to be ugly.
Could you imagine Mark Pope losing this game to Santa Clara? And right now, Santa Clara, they lead 31-29. Now, the other game that a lot of people like Conrad will be paying very close attention to, because the winner of Texas Tech and Akron, they will get an opportunity to play the winner of Hofstra and Alabama.
That's right.
And right now, I believe it's a 7-point lead right now for Texas Tech.
24-17. Texas Tech with 9 minutes left in the first half. That's what we got right now.
So those games are already underway, and I'm just sitting here looking at the schedule. You'll have Arizona and Long Island. They're going to tip off in about 30 minutes from now. Also this hour, Virginia and Wright State. At 1:50, Iowa State and Tennessee State. And we mentioned Alabama, of course, at 2:15. Then at 3:10, you got Villanova against Utah State. 3:25, the Tennessee Vols. They will take to the court against Miami of Ohio. So that is your up until what they call the night session.
Yeah, before they take the little break. I'll say this. Look, I don't think any of these teams are going to lose, but, I mean, we saw twice yesterday 16 seeds giving a lot of trouble to the 1 seeds. I wonder if that's something that will carry over today with Arizona and Florida.
No, not with Arizona.
You don't think so?
No, not against Long Island. Well, I don't think it'll happen with Florida either. But
Not an upset, but, it may be a game like Howard and Michigan where, I don't think anybody's going to be up 10 points on Duke like Siena was yesterday. But be interesting if maybe some of these teams come out a little slow, overlook their opponents a little bit.
I'll tell you a game that I'm going to be intrigued by, and it's later on. It's 8:45, Kansas, the 13-4 matchup that they have with California Baptist. Did you even know that California Baptist had a basketball program prior to the tournament field being announced?
I did not.
I knew Dallas Baptist did.
Yeah.
Only reason I knew is because there's been a couple of West Coast games that
Got your interest this year?
that I've seen. I came across them. So.
When you were reading your USA Today? Oh, really?
Did they treat you well, or?
I never played them.
Oh, okay.
I just know the conference they're in.
Gotcha.
And I was like, wow, okay. Was not aware of that. But
What are they, in like the Blue Sky Conference or something?
I just know that they obviously are affiliated with the Southern Baptist Convention.
Well,
They're the WAC.
They're the Lancers.
They're in the WAC.
Yeah.
So who was the team out of Michigan that was the Lancers that we had in the
Are you
last?
thinking of East Lansing?
No. Last couple of tournaments. One of them played here. Oh, goodness. I'll find it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're mentioning,
You have good memory, though.
You're mentioning Arizona. So they're a 31.5-point favorite against Long Island today.
Longwood is who it was.
Yeah.
Longwood. Okay,
The
there you go.
Lancers.
There you go.
Number one seeds that are laying 25-plus points, 59% of the time they cover the spread.
Well, let's see. Florida is a 35.5-point favorite, and Arizona is a 30.5-point favorite. So,
Going back to what
There you
Coach
go.
was saying about the 35.5, I don't think in college basketball, whoever they're playing, I've ever been comfortable saying, yeah, I'll take this team minus 35.5.
no, that's
You could be playing Marathon Oil in an exhibition, and I don't know if I'd feel comfortable saying 35.5.
I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, all right, so Illinois beat Penn by 35 yesterday. I think that was the largest margin of victory. I know Houston beat Illinois. Who did they play? Whoever Houston played, Idaho. They beat them by 31.
Did I read right?
St. Louis
that-
was about to beat Georgia by 40 until Georgia scored a little bit at the end.
That's so ridiculous.
I was going to say, did I read that one of those games yesterday was on pace to be the largest blowout in the history of the NCAA basketball
It
tournament?
must have been St. Louis and Georgia.
Might have
They
been.
were up by 40 in the second half, late in the second half.
Or at least a game not involving a 1 versus 16.
Yeah. 35's a lot, though.
Yeah. So
35's a ton of points. I don't think it happens.
So High Point University, you've heard us talking about them in the past, about their restaurant, the ice cream.
Wonderful steakhouse.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I saw this whole thing to say today about High Point. The school's motto emphasizes life skills because they're noted as a life skills university.
So, like some schools are a liberal arts college in their.
So when we say
that's their
life skills,
label.
I'm going to give you a couple examples.
okay, good. I'm gonna
Manners,
need that.
etiquette.
I'm thinking like folding clothes.
So according
Where
to
the
this
fork and knife
article,
go.
they say that High Point, because of job interviews and client deals often happen over meals, administrators want students to rehearse social etiquette. So that's another reason why they built a steakhouse, not only for those that want to get in the restaurant business, but also they want folks to rehearse social etiquette, like when you go. They also have not only a steakhouse, but they have a Mediterranean restaurant and a teppanyaki grill, where students can eat weekly as part of their meal plan. Reservations are required, and phones are not allowed.
I love
That's
that.
good.
Love
no
that.
phones.
That's good.
Young
No
people,
phones
you
are allowed.
have to make eye contact with each other. You have to talk to each other.
All right, here's one that I did not know about their school.
Good for them.
Also on campus is an airplane cabin interior, because sitting next to an executive on a plane could offer a golden opportunity one young people could rehearse for.
Okay. I see what they're going for.
Yeah.
That's unique.
The campus concierge offers students airport shuttle
They
service
have a concierge.
for free if you wear a High Point University shirt.
They got a concierge. That's fancy.
Otherwise, it will cost you $95. It's a lesson in brand awareness.
Love that.
So if you
Wow,
wear
okay.
the brand of the school, you will get certain things for free. And if not, if you would like an airport shuttle service, it's going to cost you $95 if you're not wearing a High Point jersey.
I think I'll buy the shirt.
I was thinking of other real life situations where I've had meaningful conversations with people. Honestly, a restroom. You're having a meaningful conversation with someone in a restroom?
Don't look.
You can.
So is this where
remember Mark Few when I was out at the tournament last year in San Antonio, and they had this coaches conference next to us on Radio Row in the convention center, and they had like a little breakout, and they went and they took a break. He had just given some kind of speech, and he's talking to somebody after he leaves, and he's there in the entryway of the restroom, and I had just finished, and I'm hearing all the conversations, and it was fascinating about NIL and offers and the current market of college basketball and how it's upside down. A lot of these things that are getting reported are not true. I was just thinking about life skills. And
well, remember Kirby in Atlanta this past year.
Interesting places that well, Kirby, that was not.
It was a different situation, but
yeah, that was different.
Bathroom etiquette would have been good there.
Yeah, but airplane, sitting next to someone on an airplane, I would think.
Elevator. I wonder if they do like a elevator pitch type. I would assume they have something like that.
High Point, they got it going on. What is
Something
their
tells
what
me-
is their online enrollment? Is what I'm wondering. Is this like a Liberty?
I think they actually physically have about 6,500 students there on campus. Now, online might be completely different.
You want to guess how much? If you want to go to High Point, full-time student, live on campus, room, board, tuition, all that. What do you think?
year?
For 1 year,
$110,000.
73,000.
Okay, wasn't too far off.
Whew.
Where is that compared to Alabama right now?
Let's see. When I was there, I want to say Alabama was around like 25,000. Okay. For in-state at Alabama, it's 33,000 now. For out-of-state, it's 55,000.
Golly, when I was in school, in-state, I think it was $11,000 a year.
Let's see what Auburn is. That's that's gone up. I mean, I guess I've been out of college for a while, but that's gone up for sure. Auburn is more affordable. For in-state students, it's around 20,000. For out-of-state students, 35 to 40,000.
FSU Dave just gave you something. What did he give you?
Some won. Won.
Won. Spelled like yuan, but it's won.
So how many U.S. dollars is this worth?
Bank of China. FSU Dave, former tennis professional.
Oh, that does kind of look like me.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, bud.
How are you?
Great. How are you guys?
Great. So why are you handing communist money to Conrad?
Well, Communist Conrad said that he wanted to get paid in yen. The problem is yen is from Japan, which is a democratic nation. China is communist.
Oh.
So he even had the country's money wrong that he wanted to get paid in because communists are not Japan.
Right.
It's a democracy. They have a female prime minister, the first one in their country's history.
I'm not even a good fake patriot for another
Right.
country.
What is
shame.
North Korea's currency called? Is that the Kim?
You're probably right. And
Everything else is, right?
in North Korea, you have to get your hair cut in one of like 8 approved styles. So Faye could not take care of you unless she did it by the way it is on the board.
You just have to pick from one of the 8.
You do, yeah. That because you cannot have his hairstyle.
Mine?
No,
Or the
his. He's got the shaved around the sides.
Yeah.
Keep it a little longer.
I
fun
wouldn't.
up top.
I wouldn't want that hairstyle personally.
Work with us on this, Conrad. you know.
It's you're right. It's the won, by the way.
right.
In North Korea, that's
YUAN. No, in China.
No, I know, but
But
for
also
Korean,
in-
Also North
but
Korea.
it's
okay.
WON.
They're friendly with one another.
So
Makes-
why
it
is
makes
there
a lot of sense.
English
They've got
on
the
the back
train
of
that
this,
runs from the two
on
countries.
This bill?
Because this one came from Hong Kong originally, where my dad lived for 10 years. And Hong Kong was owned by the British
Okay.
until it went back in 1997 to the Chinese. And that's when he moved back to the States. But I just thought you'd like to look at
I
at
appreciate
stuff
that.
and see what it's like.
I need to learn more about the country that I
Yeah, you're not a good
apparently
communist.
support.
You're failing at your communism.
Dave, that's the nicest thing anybody said to me in weeks is I'm a bad – that's good. I don't want to be a good one. I don't want to be one at all.
Is he a better fit, Dave, in Beijing or Moscow?
Oh. He'd die in Moscow,
Yeah.
which is actually pronounced Moscow.
Okay.
But he would die there because he would insult somebody right away.
Oh, it's one of those
without
where-
realizing.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
and you've got the Russian mafia, you've got everything, and you'd be done quickly. I mean, we don't want you done, but you would not last as
You
long.
want me to go somewhere, maybe learn a lesson, spend a couple of days scared to death that something's
And
going to
you'd be
happen.
done.
But
You would fall ill.
Right, and you probably don't like the cold.
No,
You would
not
fall
a fan.
ill. They would have no answer to why you fell ill, and then you would die. That's pretty much how they do it over there, right?
Oh, exactly right. But so it would be a rough time for him. But I just wanted to show him an example of what his money should look like if he picks the right country to get the money from.
I appreciate that. So that bill you just handed me is the equivalent of $14.52 here in America.
Correct. And
I did that math in my head. I didn't Google it.
yeah, because you're known for your math skills.
That's right.
If we did word association, college basketball coaches,
Uh-huh.
if you had to just select one, and this can be by something they've said, how they look, how you just associate, whatever. It's word association. Name association, I guess.
Okay.
You have to pick. You have just found some new territory. You're going to set up a communist regime.
Who would I want to be in
Yeah,
the leader?
immediately. Who are you making the phone call to?
Dan Hurley.
That's a good one.
That's
a
an
good
excellent one.
He'd
Yeah.
rule with an
Yeah.
iron fist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's so obnoxious that everybody would dislike him, but they'd probably do what he said to do.
Correct.
Ruben Egg roll's fantastic.
Thank you,
Can't
sir.
wait for the cheesesteak.
I'm going to be working on it this weekend.
All right. Chop on.
Got it.
Do you guys say that at FSU? I don't know.
Thank you,
we
Dad.
got it from them.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. Let's see you. You got any more wine? Any more wine?
Is this yours as well?
Just showing it to our
We
our
have all
viewers
kinds of
there on
currencies
YouTube.
here.
You can check that out.
We have something from the Bank of Jamaica as well.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
This is cool.
That's really neat. All right. God bless America. Three-man front, we continue. Tournament action going on right now. Texas Tech, they lead Akron in the 5-12 matchup. The winner of that game is going to play the winner of Alabama and Hofstra. Red Raiders on top, 35-25. Meanwhile, Kentucky, for just joining us, trailing Santa Clara at halftime by 2. We'll keep you updated on those games, other games about to tip off. We continue Twin Peaks in Hoover. It is a fun time. Come and join us here on this Friday.
It is 12:21 here on Jocks. Thanks for tuning us in on this beautiful Friday. Come by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. Reminder, at 2:15, the Alabama game will tip off, and you can see it right here at Twin Peaks. Download the Three Man Front podcast. Listen to interviews, including Wimp Sanderson from earlier today. Also, we had Mike Rodak from Bama 247 as Bama, 11.5-point favorite against Hofstra. Now, the winner of the Hofstra Alabama game, they will play the winner of Texas Tech and Akron. 3 minutes to go until halftime. And Texas Tech, they're kind of spreading out the lead a little bit. It was kind of nip and tuck, but now it's a 10-point lead by the Red Raiders, 37-27. The winner of this game will get the winner of Alabama and Hofstra coming up on Sunday.
How about this? Texas Tech in the first half so far, we got about 3 minutes, a little under 3 minutes left. They're shooting 60% from three-point range, 58% from the floor. You're going to a lot of basketball games if you're shooting the ball that well. They are on fire offensively so far.
Meanwhile, it's almost an identical stat line between Santa Clara and Kentucky. It's 31-29 Santa Clara. They're at halftime. Santa Clara is shooting 35% from the field. Kentucky a little bit better from the field at 41%. But both teams have only hit 4 3-pointers. Collectively, they're 8 of 30 between the two teams.
The free throws have been the difference for Santa Clara so far. So if Kentucky can't find a way to get to the line in the second half, I think this might continue. But we'll see. Both teams obviously can shoot the ball a lot better than they did in the first half, and whoever does that's probably going to win. But we knew this was going to be a tough one for Kentucky, and it certainly has been through 20 minutes.
Yes, it has.
You think Steve Nash is there?
At the Santa Clara, Kentucky game?
Yeah.
Are they playing in
St. Louis.
I mean, for Steve Nash, does it matter?
No. Money's no obstacle. What does Steve Nash do now?
I'm just guessing if he was responsible with his money. Whatever he wants. Is he a coach?
Well, I didn't know if he maybe did something with Santa, because you've seen a lot of these former players that'll go back and find a way to contribute back with their alma maters, or maybe be involved in like a general manager type role or something. But no, he's hosting a podcast with LeBron. That's right.
Huh.
I forgot about that.
You don't listen to the LeBron podcast?
I just haven't had time for that one, Pat. I haven't had time for that.
Too busy listening to the Ho Chi Minh speeches of all time?
Well, I'm still trying to work through my translations of that, but yes.
All right, so we're going to keep you posted on this Texas Tech game against Akron. I'll tell you right now, just watching a good bit of this Texas Tech team towards the back end of the season, and today is one of their better performances. Because if they play this way, if Alabama is fortunate enough to get past Hofstra,
It's going to be tough.
it will be a very difficult game.
Well,
with Toppin going out.
Well, and you just look at before Toppin got, I mean, they had beaten like all of the big, I mean, they beat Arizona, right? I think they beat Michigan earlier in the year. They were one of those teams. They beat Houston. We went and you said, man, that's a team that if they can win a couple games in the tournament, they might have beaten every other potential matchup that they would have. But obviously without Toppin, they're a different team. But they're playing really, really well right now. Alabama would have their hands full for sure. But, I mean, look at this guy, 0 for Akron. Like, he's been bodying up the guards. That size advantage is just blowing me away. Keep an eye on Lyles.
Well, first of all, you can't let him get that deep in your kitchen, and that's what they're doing. And at that point, all you can do is drape over the back of him and foul him or let him score.
I'm just impressed with his size. I just looked at him. He's 6'9", but he's handling the ball down the court. He's taking it up and down for him.
Speaking of LeBron, he could have played there.
Yeah. Certainly does.
Had he not chased all that money.
I know, right? How selfish of him.
Joining us now on the program, you heard him yesterday, and, man, he had just an incredible pick. I mean, he's been rock solid throughout the football season, and I'm talking about Kevin Todd. He is the CEO of the sportsbrokers.com, 888-320-7517. He joins us now on Three Man Front. All right, Kevin, man, you gave us that St. Louis game yesterday. A lot of SEC folks were probably going, oh, man, I don't know about that one. Man, you nailed that one and everything else from yesterday. Hope you're well.
Yeah, St. Louis went wire to wire. They ended up winning a game by 25 points, and I'm going to give your listeners another winner shortly. But let me tell them right now, Just like yesterday, folks, I have a best bet going here in college basketball, and I'm giving you the information for free. I'm putting money in your pocket first. I want to earn your business. The only thing you need to do, folks, is pick up the phone and dial 888-320-7517. That's 888-320-7517. You get my best bet today in college basketball. NCAA March Madness, absolutely free.
All right, Kevin Todd, since 1991, the Sports Brokers, they have been the industry leader in sports gaming, providing winning advice for over 10,000 clients. All right, so let's talk about day two. As I'm sitting here looking at the board, and I know you're going to give us a free pick coming up here in just a moment, but just looking at the board, yesterday was kind of a wild day. I'm sitting here looking at, let's just go ahead and get into it, St. John's in northern Iowa. This St. John's team, I'm looking at a 10.5-point favorite right now. A lot of people, not saying it's on upset alert, but man, these are some interesting numbers for the Red Storm.
Well, it's very hard for the odds makers basically to get these games, dead on with point spread, because they're playing every game is pretty much a non-conference game until you get past the first round. And it's very hard for the odds makers pretty much to make the lines. Well, let me tell you about Northern Iowa here. They were the number 6 seed in their conference, and the only reason they were the 6 seed is because they were missing their best player, Tristan Smith. When he was out, they ended up losing 12 games. When he was playing, they were 22-5. And what I tend to believe, and you saw it the other day with Duke as a number 1, they don't take these teams serious. And this could also be kind of a letdown spot for St. John's after winning the Big East tournament for the second straight year and playing Connecticut, even though it's Connecticut and they're a tough team. But let me tell you, Northern Iowa, on the other hand, they match up really well. They play good defense. They got the size on the inside. They hit the threes, and most important, they play defense just like St. John's. I think catching the 10.5 points here is a lot. I think this game is going to be closer than the number is. And I would say that this is one of the 12 seeds that can upset today, because we had a 12 seed yesterday with High Point upsetting Wisconsin. I believe maybe this could happen, but I'm going to take the points here. But more important, it's about today, folks. You give me a call right now. You get my best bet in college basketball. I always tell you, less games, more money. That's how you treat sports wagering like a business. Whether it's basketball or football, you find the best game on the board, you bet as much as you can, you win and quit. Multiple games, folks, is just not going to happen. Why would you want to bet 4 or 5 games at $200 apiece and risk $8,000 or $1,000 on total, when you can bet one game, win and quit? That's treating it like a business. You go right over to my website, thesportsbrokers.com. You can opt in. A broker will call you back, or you can give me a call right now. You'll get my best bet free. I'm putting money in your pocket first. All you have to do is give me a call at 888-320-7517. That's 888-320-7517.
Since 1991, the Sports Brokers has been the industry leader in sports gaming, providing winning advice for over 10,000 clients. So many of our Jocks listeners, they have taken advantage of Kevin Todd's expertise throughout the football season and now college basketball. Website, once again, is thesportsbrokers.com, 888-320-7517. Best bet in college basketball coming up. Should be a fun day, Kevin. Always appreciate your time.
Yes, it's going to be a great day. And, folks, listen, like I said, if I don't win this game today, I'm putting it all on the line. I'll give you the rest of the March Madness for free. All you need to do is dial 888-320-7517. Pat, great talking to you, and I'll be back for football season, my friend.
That sounds good. Thank you. That's Kevin Todd, 888-320-7517. When we come back on Three Man Front, we'll give you an update. Kentucky and Santa Clara back and forth happening right now in the Midwest region. Just went to halftime. Texas Tech, big lead over Akron. All that straight ahead here on Jocks.
Welcome back in. We're live here at Twin Peaks, enjoying some tournament action. Day 2 of the NCAA Tournament. A lot of our great Jocks listeners are here. We got Kentucky and Santa Clara in a close one, and also Texas Tech in Akron. We'll keep you updated on those other games tipping off around the country as well. I want to tell you about our friends at the Fennec, reminding all of you Alabama fans, if you are looking for your go-to place to watch Alabama Hofstra, hopefully tomorrow or coming up on Sunday, when you get Alabama, Texas Tech, or potentially Alabama and Akron. All the tournament action, you can find it there at the Fennec. All of the TVs, the projector screens, and the drink specials are rolling out during the game today. They got half-off apps, things like the Conecuh corn dogs, the wings, the corn ribs, one of the new menu items that is fantastic. All the shareables. They got fork and knife if you want to go there as well. Drink specials, it's the Fennec. Check them out. If you can't get by there today or this evening, check them out all weekend. It's a great place to consume all that tournament action. 1630 2nd Avenue South. Always tell them Landrum from Jock sent you.
13:22 to go in the basketball game. Kentucky up 46-44 over Santa Clara. Meanwhile, halftime, a late first half run by Akron. They now trail only by 5 against Texas Tech, 40-35.
Yeah, we'll see if Texas Tech, the hot shooting that they had in the first half, if that carries over. But nice sign of life there for Akron. Maybe a little bit like the Providence, North Carolina game yesterday, where it looked like, all right, North Carolina's going to have this thing in the bag, and out of nowhere came Providence. So we'll see if Akron can keep it up.
And Kentucky, they surged. They jumped out to about a 5 to 6 point lead just a couple minutes ago, but Santa Clara has cut the lead to 2. The outside shooting for Kentucky has warmed up a little bit. They're now 7 of 20 behind the three-point arc. That's good for 35%.
I have to imagine it's going to stick around. I don't think it's going to – you're going to see one of these teams really pull away, Pat. It feels like they're going to be neck and neck the whole way through.
I've got a prediction, and it's just a gut feeling about Alabama and Hofstra. I think Alabama shoots the lights out from outside today.
Tell you what, if they don't, and if they don't run their offense –
it's going to be ugly. I'm just ready for
what are you ready for? Just tell us.
I'm ready for I'm ready for everything, Pat. It feels like one of those games where maybe the first 10 to 12 minutes it's not the most fun to watch if you're a fan of the Tide. And then you kind of get into the flow of the game a little bit. They figure out the team.
Well, hasn't that kind of been the theme for Alabama this season? First few minutes of a game at times?
Yes.
Getting off to the sluggish start?
Yes. You're not wrong, my friend. You're not wrong. But, I mean, again, you try to figure out the flow. You're replacing Aiden Holloway. I could see it taking a few minutes for guys to get, good to go.
Well, the good news is they've had some time to work through this, albeit it's been limited time. They've had to do it before without him, but you have known who your opponent was since Sunday, and then I guess on Monday you realize that you're going to be a man short.
But according to Nate Oates, it's been a good week of practice, and some of the guys have really stepped up. I know he mentioned Reitzel being that guy, both on the court but also just from a leadership standpoint, really impressed him and has really stepped up this week. So, again, you're hearing all the right things going into the game, but as we know, anything can happen in that 40 minutes on the court, especially with a team like Hofstra that is going to want to control the pace of the game.
That game is coming up at 2:15, so you still have an opportunity to come have an extended lunch. Hang out here at Twin Peaks. I just can't say enough, Landrum, Jason, and the crew here at Twin Peaks. We've had this long relationship with Twin Peaks for quite some time here at Jocks, and, man, it's kind of like home for us. Me and you've been doing shows from here for many, many years, but Jason said it was an incredible day yesterday, and it looks like it's on tap to be another one here at the restaurant.
Yeah, it's become an annual thing, and hanging out with our friends here at Twin Peaks, whether it's during the football season or tournament time. We've been here for the Masters as well. But, yeah, Ray, who has been our server yesterday and today and getting to know, and the entire staff here, just wonderful and so accommodating. Thank you to Jason and everybody for making this thing possible.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I appreciate it very much. I just saw a story that is circulating out of Salt Lake City. And the Freedom of Information Act, a local television station and radio conglomerate, they reached out because they wanted to look at some documents of Kyle Whittingham before he left Utah. And as we all remember, it was kind of odd the way that all that went down with him officially deciding to retire and then have a coach in waiting and things of that nature. Well, during all this time, apparently, according to these documents, he was trying to negotiate a new contract. He wanted to at least stay around for 3 to 4 years as the head coach of Utah. And basically, Utah undercut him from a salary standpoint, offering him about $8 million. And then they said they would bump him up to about 9 or maybe 9.6. He also requested that they have $20 million available for NIL football, just football. Not for the whole school, but just football.
Okay.
And he also wanted a $2 million increase for his assistant coaches.
I think that these are all reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $20 million for your NIL. Let's look around the SEC.
That's very good.
But I will say, it does turn out that he went to the place where all of that is readily available.
Yes, he did. And then a proposed amendment to his contract in early part of December, the school came back and said that they would give him $8 million for his salary. And so then at that point in time,
That might rub me the wrong way a little bit.
that point in time, his agent started negotiating basically a contractual retirement in which they would owe him a staggering amount of money over a 3-year period. And they decided that it was going to come to $13.5 million and that he would be paid $8 million up front and then space out the remaining $5.5 million over the course of the next few years. And at that point in time, Michigan got on the radar, and lo and behold, he ends up in Ann Arbor. So this story basically lays out a picture that whether Utah folks were ready for a change maybe, or they just weren't willing to go the amount or the extent that he wanted to, not only paying him, but also the NIL.
Yeah, I think the world of Kyle Whittingham as a football coach. I think that he often got overlooked, and part of that was being there at Utah and whether they were in the Pac-12 or now the Big 12. I just wonder if it's too late because Michigan was always a job that he was linked to, and now with him leaving the state of not only Michigan and that athletic department, but the Big Ten and just the overall scope of intercollegiate athletics, I hope he has success at Michigan because my fear would be that he goes and let's just say has a couple of 8 and 5s, has a 7 and 6, and then he is ushered out the door, and that's how Kyle Whittingham is remembered.
I was about to say, you don't want that to be the legacy that follows him because he did so many great things at Utah there, but, he's going to have, you mentioned it, Landrum, he's going to have plenty of resources there and essentially an endless bankroll, it feels like, to get that program back to where it was just a couple of years ago, winning a national championship. And you wonder for Utah, too, was a little bit of like, hey, we really like Morgan Scaley. We're ready to move forward with him. If we're going to have to gamble in the next 3 or 4 years of him not taking a job elsewhere, let's just go ahead and make him the guy now. We'll move on. You can move on, Kyle, and both parties may be happy with where things ultimately ended up. I don't know.
Well, one thing's for sure. I mean, he's now at a place like Landrum mentioned where I think pretty much he has carte blanche, and they can go out and do what they feel like they need to do.
Oh, looky there.
205-834-9450. And we have folks that are continuing to text into the show, which we always appreciate. Collins, going back to High Point, says, I visited High Point when I worked for my fraternity. The steakhouse was phenomenal. Another interesting fact, they don't use real money. You have to load up a university card to pay for things, even as a visitor.
Okay, that's interesting. I know that's a thing with students, but okay.
So you have your High Point Bucks.
Yeah, okay.
Or were they the Lancers?
No, they were the Panthers.
Oh, the Panthers.
They're prowling
That's right.
Panthers.
In the restroom is where Landrum found out about Conrad. That's Fat Joe. It's weird and gross, Fat Joe. I don't know where you were going.
There's
with
a
that.
lot of things happening right now. There's a lot of things happening
What
right
does
now.
read that?
Okay, that is the Japanese mafia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Not the Triads.
You don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, you don't want to.
I'm not going to say their name. Then.
No, you don't want to.
All right, what is that?
I guess that's the Chinese mafia.
Don't want to mess with them either.
Keep our distance from the mafias in general. That's probably a good idea.
Oh, your next haircut, going back to your love for North Korea, Conrad. Faye could put a Korean bowl over your head to give you a proper Korean haircut.
You know, if she had shown up today, maybe we could have made that happen, but I guess we'll have to wait until next March now.
Going back to the embarrassment for the SEC so far of the NCAA Tournament, Georgia and their dreadful performance versus St. Louis. How about this? UGA finished their game against St. Louis on a 17-2 run.
Yeah, they were down 40 with like 6 minutes left.
In order to cut the lead from 40 to 25.
It's very rare that you get to say, man, you lost by 25, and that doesn't tell the whole story because it was a lot worse than that, actually.
And then it says with Arkansas, Cal with a huge lead leaves his starters in until the end. Some fans were booing as they should have been.
Do you think fans were booing Nebraska yesterday, what they were doing to Troy?
I was booing.
I think they still don't understand what they saw. You were booing?
Well, I didn't like some of the looks, some of the exchanges we were getting from the Nebraska players. It's like the Troy guys, they realize they know what's going on.
I mean, can we go back to the fact that Hoiberg literally took his knee to someone's junk in the game? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, that was early on in the game, wasn't it?
Remember
It was
that?
like the second possession.
Yeah, they were setting the tone.
Yeah, right in the jump.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
that's bad.
I guess that's what they teach up there.
Yeah.
They need the etiquette school like High Point.
Yeah.
That
They need
guy
to
wasn't
learn the
he
manners.
wasn't even thinking about putting the ball off the glass and
No.
the layup. No, he had targeted that guy's junk, and he was gonna. And you know what? It might have worked.
Yeah, they won. They won big.
That guy didn't run the same.
You normally don't for a while.
Next 38 minutes, he was just hobbling along.
Kentucky is up by 4, 10 minutes and 38 seconds. We'll keep you posted in that. Come on by and see us. We're live at Twin Peaks in Hoover. This is Three-Man Front on Jocks.
We continue three-man front live from Twin Peaks here in Hoover, right off of Creekside Drive by the River Chase Galleria. You can come and check it out. We're here on the patio. You can hear our friends amongst us sitting here in the Jocks section, if you will. A lot of our great listeners getting to catch up, meet new folks. Join us, and right now they've got deals going on. Conrad, Yingling Lager, and the Flight in the draft, $4.67, $6.97 Fat Tire. And then $6 any old number 7 Jack Daniels drinks. You can go with the Ford Gin and Tonic for $6 and some Jack Blackberry Lemonade, $6. How much did Paige win yesterday in her bracket, the defending champ?
She won, what is it, $350?
Well, no. What did she? How many games did she win yesterday?
Oh.
She was in second place, I think.
I only think monetarily. Let me look it up. I'm trying to go find our brackets right here. I just know she's in second place. I know she missed, Wisconsin like everybody, just about. I know that one was a big loss for her. But she had Texas A&M and Texas with the upsets there. What's up, Steve? I like the Alabama gear. It was a good day for Paige.
Okay, good.
But she's married to me, so every day's a good day, right? Isn't that how that works?
Depends on if you picked up a toothbrush off a dirty sidewalk.
I think it's – I did not today, actually. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up her bracket right now.
Consumed a bottle of water from stagnant water that your friend defecated in. There's so many different instances where I don't think that Paige would be proud or feel honored to be linked with you.
Here's the thing is I like to share some of these stories, and I've shared too many stories, but those are a moment in time, right? A Pat Ponder segment, like if you were there, you were there. And then I feel like Landrum says something like that, and now people have so many questions. But I guess that's what I open myself up to with the water bottle type thing. Paige had
your explanation for the gag ball, that was believable.
That was, yeah. Thank you, I appreciate that. Paige won 13 of the 16 games yesterday.
Oh, 13 of 16. It was 12 of 16.
That's a good day.
Yep. She didn't follow your advice and take Wisconsin and put them in the Final Four.
No, because I remember when I told her that, she kind of looked and she said, like, am I missing something here? And I said, no. I'm just kind of going a little outside the box, and it really did not pay off. So, good for me.
I just saw a quote from Stephen Pearl. He's meeting with the media right now. He said, Seattle U is one of the best defensive teams he's watched on film this season. Ken Palm's got him at the 19th best defense. Did you know that? About the Red Hawks?
I will be honest, I didn't. Yeah, the Seattle Red Hawks. No, I did not know that.
No,
He's
just so tired of even watching Auburn.
Oh, I know. He's been checked out for weeks now, and now he's like, I have to. Okay, serious question. If this wasn't your job, so you didn't really have to keep up with it for your job.
I think you know the answer.
No,
when would you have stopped watching?
Don't even waste your breath.
Like halfway through the SEC season, would you have been done?
After Mississippi State.
After Mississippi State. Okay. That's a fair answer.
The first Mississippi State. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
I hate to say I called it, but
you did.
A month before it all hit the wall, you can just tell.
Yeah.
This team's got problems, and it's not just defense. They got issues.
You're a realist.
Yeah.
I'm an optimist.
Time to reload. We need better basketball. We need every team in this state punching a ticket to the tournament.
Yes.
That's who we
I
are
like
now.
it. Basketball
It
state.
used to be football. Not anymore. We continue from Twin Peaks.